and welcome to Caden's Short Stories. I'm going to be telling stories about things that are spooky, things that are going to keep you up at night, and just downright outrageous. So please hit that like button, subscribe, you know what to do. Let's get into today's story. Daniel Petric, nicknamed Danny, was a teenager who attended high school in Wellington, Ohio, while his home was nearby Brighton Township. News often reports him being from Wellington. His father, Mark Petric, was a Pentecostal minister at New Life Assembly in Wellington, and his mother was named Susan Petric. Petric contracted a staph infection from a snow skiing injury and was housebound for a year while recuperating from a severe spinal damage. He was introduced to Halo games by his friend Jonathan Johnson, and he developed an addiction while playing them for about 7 to 8 hours a day at Johnson's house. Halo is a series of violent games about war of aliens, most of them rated M, and that's for adult audiences. Daniel's father disapproved of video game violence, and after his son expressed they want to buy the Halo games, he ordered him to stop playing the games or leave the house. Daniel moved into Johnson's house for the weekend, playing the game with his friend up to 18 hours a day with minimal breaks, and this was a week before the shooting. His son bought his own copy of Halo 3 without his father's consent. Finding him bringing it into the house, his father confiscated it and held it in a safe and secured it next to his 9mm Taurus, which is a pistol. And according to his father, he did have a loving relationship with both of his parents, and his friends and family described him as a normal, happy teenager without any psychological problems that would motivate his crimes. One student recalled him being friendly and fun to be around. Fellow churchgoers pointed out that he was enthusiastic about the Bible. In terms of academic achievement, he was an average student at his school. He had no record of suspension or any form of prior violence. There's nothing that would profile him as a source of a violent person, according to his superintendent. But about 1 week after the game was confiscated, Daniel found his father's key, unlocked the safe, and stole both the game and the gun. Around 7 PM, Daniel walked up behind his parents, who was left sitting on the couch, and said, "I have a surprise for you." Bang, bang. Shoots both his parents in the head, blood pouring down everywhere, and unfortunately, Susan Petric died from her injury. She was shot in the head, the chest, and the arms. And Daniel then placed the gun in his father's hand to intend the crime to look like a murder-suicide, saying, "Hey Dad, here's the gun." A few minutes later, his sister, Heidi, and her husband Andrew Archer arrived at the house, planning to watch a baseball game together on television. They arrived 2 hours planned before they were supposed to. They entered the house and Daniel told them not to come in. Their parents were fighting. Upon hearing groaning, they forced their way through and discovered the aftermath of the shooting. Heidi called the police. Daniel drove away in the family van in an attempt to escape to a friend's house, taking along Halo 3 in the passenger seat. The police caught up to him and forced him out of the van using roadblocks. While Petric was being arrested, he yelled, "My dad shot my mum!" Petric was convicted of aggravated murder, and attempted aggravated murder, and tampering with evidence, and due to his age, he could not be sentenced to death. The judge sent him to prison with the possibility of parole after 23 years, which is the minimum sentence. The maximum sentence Petric faced was life in prison without parole, recommended by the prosecuting attorney. This wasn't the case.